Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Engine Builder Show. For our episode today, Gabe will be sharing with us what Russell Brunson and Alex Charfen taught him about shiny object syndrome. If you struggle with shiny object syndrome, this episode can probably help you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and enjoy the show. Good morning, everybody.
There was always a ton to learn. Over the years, one of the things I've learned as an entrepreneur is that in order for me to truly understand something and apply it and just really grasp what's going on, I have to hear it multiple times. I have to hear it over and over. And so for me, I'm intentional about putting myself around people that are farther down the road business-wise than I am, and are farther down the road in experiences of things that I want to learn and grow in. And I remember a few years ago, I was at a funnel hacking live event with Russell Brunson, and he was sharing how he, would wake up, beginning of the year and be like, I have this new business idea, and he would put everything he could into it, and he'd launch the new, business or product idea, and he'd make $1 million. And he was like, awesome, this is a huge success. And so I want to make $2 million. So then he would launch a new business, and he would push hard, and he'd keep the other business going, but he'd launch a new business. And then at the end of that year, that cycle in business, he'd look at his revenue and he'd be like, man, I made 500,000 in each business. I didn't make $1 million, but I made $1 million overall, but I wasn't able to get two businesses to $1 million. And he shared that he realized that the reason that he kept capping his income and capping his impact and results is because he kept fracturing his attention between multiple different business ideas or very divergent products or offerings inside of a business. He just kept splitting his focus because he'd hear about something new and he'd want to jump into that. And I think that he's probably not alone. I know that really resonated with me because over the years, I have started up many different business ideas, products, and brands. I've started many different businesses, and I've slowly but surely learned that I only have so much time and energy and focus. And the way to scale revenue is not always, there are times or exceptions to this, but very frequently it's the most effective path is not going to be to open a new business or launch a new product or push out some new brand new thing, but instead to find a way to keep focusing in. And so the next part that Russell shared is he said, now when I have that entrepreneurial itch and I want to try something new and I'm like, I have shiny object syndrome, instead of me looking outside my business or what's this brand new thing I can launch, he takes that energy and says, how can I make an existing business or existing product inside that business even better? So it takes that same entrepreneurial excitement. It takes all those things that we love. And as entrepreneurs of doing new or just engaging and diving into things, and it refocuses the energy when we ask ourselves, how can we just keep cycling through making our existing business better by looking at different departments or improving customer service or leveling up an existing product? When we take that, iterative approach of continuing to refine and improve, that's what actually grows revenue. And Russell shared that that's when his business really skyrocketed and started scaling. And so in concept, that makes a lot of sense to me. Instead of looking outside the business or chasing the latest shiny object, how do I take that excitement and that energy and refocus it into the business? And so I realized in that moment that I needed to just keep working through each of my, 4 or 5 departments and improving them and investing in them so we got better results there, and that would lift the company as a whole. But it was more of a theory and concept for me because I wasn't sure exactly how to do that. Fortunately, I've been following now a good friend of mine, Alex Charfen, for quite a while. And Alex teaches a system called the Simple Operations System, where he shows folks how to, set targets for the year, break them down into quarterly, set big goals for the year, your big goals, and then break them down into 90-day targets for the quarter. And then what do you need to accomplish on a monthly basis and what do you need to accomplish on a weekly basis to keep moving forward? And a really interesting thing happened as I went through that process. One, I realized how powerful it was to plan, ahead and share that vision with the team and show them step by step how we were going to get there instead of just dumping out all my ideas and expecting they were going to understand it. Because when I did it that way, when I just shared all my ideas and all the big goals and everything like that, I just created overwhelm and scared my team a little bit. which is not productive. That people can't operate well from a place of fear or overwhelm. So instead of doing that, by using the simple operation systems that Alex taught me, I was able to set some really big goals for the year that I've surpassed, many times in using his system actually, but then break them down into quarterly, monthly, and weekly targets to hit. And he also refined for me something that I had understood and tried to implement and practiced a little bit in years past of planning, executing on the plan, and then reviewing what occurred before I go into a planning session again. And so he really helped me fall in love with this process and this cycle of doing that over and over at a company level, but also in each department. And it allowed me to fall in love with the process of refining my business, refining each department, leveling up our client experience and the client journey, and just really being intentional and taking that entrepreneurial excitement, that energy, that drive that I have every day, almost every day, and saying, great, I have all this energy. How can I improve something in my existing business instead of thinking, oh, I should open a new business? Because opening a new business for most entrepreneurs or launching a brand new divergent product or division for most entrepreneurs lowers your revenue or at least flatlines you. But if you're able to take that same energy and focus and improve, what you're able, to output from your existing business, products, lines, divisions, then profit can grow, revenue grows, and you get better and better at what you're already doing. So that iterative cycle, that just reviewing and then planning, executing, and then reviewing what you did before you plan again. When you go through that cycle over and over, if you're open to it, you can fall in love with it and it can make your business grow significantly. And so that's what's both of those awesome leaders in the entrepreneurial world taught me about how to really grow and scale my business without chasing some shiny objects. So I would encourage you to consider the same thing. Ask yourself, how can I become more focused? How can I take that entrepreneurial energy that I have and grow my business instead of thinking I have to launch something new? Because the launching something new or brand new is most times a distraction. Whereas if you're taking that energy and reinvesting it in the company and leveling up what you already have, that is where true growth and success comes from, in my experience and the experience of so many other people that I've now interacted with through Alex's community and many other successful entrepreneurs out there. So I hope that's encouraging you today. Refocus, take that energy that you want to split outside the company sometimes and put it back in the company and just grow and improve what you're already doing. And that's how you're going to win in the long run. And that's how you're going to beat your competitors. And it's also how you can lower the stress, the pressure, the noise, all the things that come with entrepreneurship. If you're willing to engage in that process, it will make your entrepreneurial journey so much more exciting, simpler, and less stressful. So I appreciate you taking time to tune in today, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's show.